came up with, the two of you, or is this?
Yeah. That's what I asked.
But is it
Sorry, go ahead.
written down somewhere, or is it protected? Is it? I'm just wondering, like, what happens when you go to the next company?
What I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out right now exactly what are you doing? Are you
That's kind of what it was.
interactive thing where you have some kind of software so that people communicate within the company all over, you keep track of everybody? Is that what's going on, or what is it?
Maybe we should walk you through some different things we can do. That's okay. So really, in terms of IP, it's really, really hard to protect something like this. The way we protect it is it's meant for one business and only one business. You could never really use.
Yeah, but all businesses use accounting, let's say. But in accounting, you do templates where everybody adjusts the statement to work for them, and they use these buckets and boxes.
Okay, so
if this business is communication, can't you set up all these buckets and everything and have this template that, let's say, the trucking industry could use to keep track of people? Let's see, somebody else in the industry, I'm not sure what you're doing, but could you set up like a template that would be a software that you would sell to different companies, and then the adjustments instead of starting from zero every time?
So you're saying kind of build on the work we've already done?
That's definitely what we plan on doing. When we say start from scratch, we take our best concepts, customize everything towards different business sectors.
Okay, let's start from scratch. Okay, you come into it. You come into a business, and they've got buckets of what I would call items that fall within an ERP system. Okay, so you've got everything from manufacturing to supply chain to financials to HR to sales and marketing, CRM packages, stuff like that. Those are huge systems. They've got tons of data already committed to those systems. Okay, now you come in and do what? Because they've got all this data and they've got all these processes. Because they've been in business for a long time. You guys are new. I got a business that's I got all of those things that I just mentioned all running right now, with a whole IT department to back the thing up with servers and all that stuff and storage, and I got all of these business processes modeled out and an existing business running. You come in and do what?
So first thing is we work within your business for a few months, find out how it works. Then we would design a system around every employee's function, or that you would want. Some systems we won't be able to replace.
Okay. Just let me just walk through, because I think we'll get to the gist of it here. So you'll come in and you will do workflow you'll model workflows within different departments of the business. And then is it you're trying to automate those workflows, or what? Like, how do you? If I've got, let's say you go into my accounting department. Okay. Those people are all working on our financial system. That's a system that's well ingrained. They all know the system. They all know how it works. What are you going to do for them that is not going to create a whole other separate set of financials? What are you doing for them?
I guess I'll describe what we did for DECO. They had all their systems in place, right? 5 or 6 different ones. What we did is, so they might have a POS system, but that didn't match up with their financial system, right? So we integrated them. We actually didn't integrate them. We just totally made a new system.
To me, it almost sounds like you're a consultant, like a high technology business consultant, kind of what IBM does now, because IBM strictly are.
I think I can give you an example in your business. Your sales guy walks up to a customer meeting and says, okay, I want to load, give me a price on a load from Winnipeg to Chicago. Right? So the guy writes that down, goes back to the office, farts around a bunch, and then emails me a quote at the end of it, right? Somewhere This thing, the guy walks in with an iPad and says, okay, boom, 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 boom. You want to know Winnipeg to Chicago, when do you want to do it? You have your business processes refined enough. He pushes a button, give me your email address, pushes a button, and the quote is immediately sent to the customer right while he's there.
Okay, so that's a workflow automation thing. So you're modeling workflows, you're automating some of the processes, and enabling information that is otherwise captive in proprietary systems to be seen on a unified, essentially on a unified device. So what you've created here, what I would call this, is a portal, right? So you've got an electronic portal for multiple different business processes coming out of DECO in this case, and you're providing a unified vision into that on a cool, slick mobile tablet, and hopefully people will know how to use that information properly, but you still have to write all of the links between, to be able to receive that information and display it, and then be able to take, like, let's say I'm a sales guy with Deco, and I'm going out and I'm doing some new job or whatever. If I put information back into this, whatever department in the company that I'm touching by doing this, you have now got to write the link back to that proprietary system, right? If you don't, then we've just created a whole other bucket of information. Is that right?
That's correct,
okay.
yeah. And we have kind of eliminated a lot of systems they have used in the past to make that easier, right?
Okay.
And also you're saying that if, let's say somebody somewhere needs to have a picture or someplace, that it's all easily put in and the pictures go back and forth. And if it's some kind of condition report or something or anything, if you needed to see the load, but you're trying to call, the guy could have a picture and sense and you know what it is he's doing, if it's unusual or something.
Yeah, so you're adding value. You're adding value in that regard because of the work you're doing on a consultative basis. Basically, you're finding out where there's gaps in existing systems. That's
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you can take it one step further. Let me give you an example. You sign up a restaurant. Waitress comes up to you. She clicks which table you're at, what seat you're at, what drink would you like, Mr. Jessamine. Boom, boom, boom. Orders your drink. It goes back to the bar. By the time she gets to the bar, it's already done. You order your meal. She does it. I haven't seen anybody yet at the point of sale, at the table.
Maybe not a table, but at the till it's there.
No, at the till, I understand, but this is the next step, taking the technology of the Apple iPad tablet and bringing it right to the table and eliminating that step of going to that screen and punching that in. It's punched in right at the table. That's the secret sauce you guys have, is using the iPad to move the experience, take the paper out of the experience. Right, and then hook it all together in the background.
Okay, so let's let these guys finish selling the thing here, because you got to convince us. So what now that we've kind of got the gist, I think, of what it is you're doing. Do we even have the gist, or we're incorrect?
You're very, very close.
Okay,
yeah.
so let's just assume we've got. Let's just say we're
close the gap. What are we missing?
Yeah.
To give you an example, ours will interact with MPI's system, right? So a $5 transaction is then updated right on the accounting sheets that day for our owner who's walking through the airport who didn't see it. We have one customer who has sales reps in Australia. He wants them to manipulate their custom products on the iPad, enter the dimensions, colors, everything else. That will then pop up on their manufacturing floor. They can build the product and ship it out. Right? That's kind of.
Do you see anything common, let's say, like I was trying to get back to, where you can build some kind of standard system where these buckets move around, or I call them buckets, but you can call them whatever you want, that people could use to interact back and forth? Is there some kind of, in the writing, something common that something could take off the shelf and then help the communication?
Well, I think they'll get that over time. Like, I go to the Apple store and they're able to use an iPhone or an iTouch and swipe my credit card.
20 years ago, I went in the hair care business, and I thought I was just finishing school like you guys, and I thought it was pretty smart. And I took a couple computer courses, and I thought it was a pretty good program. And I had some people, and we wrote some programs, and we thought we were going to write the best program on everything. And you go fast forward, now I'm using systems that are proven in other companies, and they always come up with more ideas, and there's more of them. And then together we use a common system. I'm always scared when somebody customizes everything. Technology changes faster than you can keep up if you're writing a one kind of system. That's what scares me.
Yeah, nobody wants to end up with one monolithic system
Well,
that doesn't communicate with other systems. But I think that's what these guys are trying to get at. Is that they're trying to create. I'm assuming this is all written in open source, so it links easily with everything. It links easily with everything else. But what they're trying to do is actually get away from that and create something that does communicate well. It's a unified view of disparate data sources across an entire company and work processes. Unified view on a tablet or on an iPhone, so that it's mobile, so that you can move around it, and it links easily with other things. Is that
Exactly.
And we'll also say, it's also you can also have the comfort of a computer.
Well, there's always if they can do that. You know?
Yeah, well, I've been down that path.
Yeah, I know. No, but so because we got to wind up pretty quick here. But so how does somebody else not come in and do that? How do you keep other guys from coming in? I mean, anybody can go and buy Apple tablet, iPad, and there's lots of computer consultants, there's a lot of workflow automation people, there's a lot of people doing all of the stuff you're doing. They may not have it all in one bucket, but what if they decide to tomorrow? What keeps them out of your space?
So by this, do you mean someone like us developing?
How's somebody, a competitor, how's somebody not going to come in and just mop the floors with you guys?
Existing customers obviously will have built in the whole system. There's huge.
You have a contract with existing, but I'm talking about further business where you're going to lever this thing, where you're going to use the systems that you've designed.
Yeah. How are you going to become the players in this space?
The only way I can see is through scalability, right? We're going to have to really grow and really create systems that we can move from one business to the next quickly, cheaply, like you said, right? Pulling accounting software from here to student works painting, right? That's the only way. There's nothing we can look for.
But can somebody see your programs easily? Would they know what you did?
We can ship it to India and maybe copy it, but they can do that with anything, right? Like a Word or something.
So it's encrypted, your information is encrypted in your...
Absolutely.
And so people can't see what you've written.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, there's no use in copying it anyways, because there's no other company in the world that does exactly, precisely what Deco does.
Yeah.
And these guys are creating a ground-up solution that is really only relevant to Deco. So you've got that intellectual property protection from that standpoint, because owning Deco's systems is, it's like me owning Transx's system. I'd like to have the data out of their system, but I don't want their system because it's not. It's the different. It's the different.
I just meant if somebody was going to crack it and use.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Well, and I just wanted to know how open was everything, or how closed your information was, just because that's pretty important for you to be able to make sure that people can't crack what you're actually doing.
One or two more real quick, then we got to wrap.
I'm fine.
You're fine, great.
I think that basically you're taking the new technology, the iPad, and being one of the first to market it, turning it into going from generic apps into specific app, into a company specific, and I can see over time, then you would end up driving it into whatever market works. So if it's the windshield repair market, great, they can go find all those guys and just take the one and clone it. If it's restaurants or haircutting or trucking or whatever, I can't tell you which one's going to win, but I can tell you when they start spending time and then say, okay, Pete, I've written the front end for a restaurant, now I can do it for any restaurant.
One question is, it seems to me you did a 3-year deal where you have milestones and don't pay you a certain amount every time you have milestones. What did you do to convince them that you can write it and make it work?
Confidence.
Yeah.
Pitch them.
Did you show them anything that worked?
We designed the whole thing, like the flats you'll see here, very basic version. So it took about 2 days to run them through everything. We showed them the savings.
Basically what they would see on here, we had in a stack of paper.
Okay. And you said you were able to do this, but at this point you haven't done it yet to do. Or have you? I don't know. I'm not.
Like this, right now, is kind of do a new repair. It'll link. So then there's the field. You can do next. Should be like communicating with MCAS systems.
And it has worked yet after some of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run it.
We have no.
No, absolutely. I mean,
I don't know why.
Look, you're absolutely on the right track. I mean, at the end of the day, the only way this thing is going to fly is if it works and links really seamlessly with other systems, and that's the value that you guys got to bring to the table. Because there's a lot of guys doing this stuff. There's a lot of guys creating apps that are on the App Store. There's all kinds of guys trying to automate processes. My caution to you is that the one thing that a business does not need is another bucket of useless data that doesn't sync with all of its other. That just creates more work. You're actually creating more work than you're solving. If you can come into my business and show me how you can get our people to do what they're doing faster, more efficiently, and actually eliminate some of the data, that is value added. That is tremendous value added, and that's what you got to be able to do for the new one. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation. That's great. Good luck.
Thank you.